In 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Tom Waddle, worn out former Chicago Bears wide receiver, and you are listening to Greg Bragg's in the Stands.
You told us that you really like the offensive line depth of this draft, which honestly I took to mean that you didn't like the offensive line depth of this draft, but you were obviously being sincere. Yeah. How much of a factor did that play in the fact that you guys chose to go defense at the top of the draft when so many people thought you may be eyeing offensive line earlier?
Yeah, we addressed that yesterday in terms of I'm an offensive line guy. Like, obviously, I would fire away at all of them if I could, but it really comes down to the preparation. It comes down to the board and where guys are valued. And this year, where we sat, to me, there were two good starting level defensive players. And I would have made a huge mistake for this organization to say, you know what, let's just leave them there, let someone else take them. And then we're going to go to offense where they're not on the same level. And then you're kicking yourself a year or two later when that guy's at an all-pro. But yeah, I just did what I needed at the time. Again, it comes back to discipline and doing things the right way, and I felt like that's going to be a decision that we're all happy with.
Ryan Poles is happy. We're happy. Bragg's in the Stands got a big show tonight. Tom Waddle coming up. Let's go. The Bears, they started this new tradition last year where they celebrate their wins the correct way.
Waddle and Sylvie, ESPN 1000, don't miss it.
I know what you mean.
It's like their own Philly.
Okay. Okay, I think what it is.
We shouldn't be showing this. Am I crazy?
What a great sign that is. What have I told you? 17 minutes of rain would wash away 108 years of drought.
Do you see this team growing into the team that you were in 2005?
Great props, everybody.
All I gotta say is, Greg Braggs, you are ridiculous.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Braggs in the Stands. I am your host, Gregory Braggs Jr., and my co-host, Trae Tunes, is coming here soon, but he will be here very shortly. He's dialing in. I just sent him a text, but he was moving and shaking, getting his stuff set up, and I have no doubt, there he is, Trae Tunes is in the house. So there he is. How we doing, Trae?
I almost got hit by a car. Two of them.
Two of them?
Yeah, one car behind me is coming out the parking space, and a car's coming down the street. They both not paying attention. And I'm like, whoa! And I'm screaming out, and then they both stop. And they thankfully did stop, and that's how I made it. Then I ran upstairs to let me get my ass in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you could have got some money if you got hit by that car.
Yeah, but I would have missed this great show. And all you wonderful people watching out there.
And you got the Tommy Waddle shirt on. So there it is.
All right.
That's pretty intense. That's pretty intense indeed.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hello, friends. Hello, friends.
Right.
Can I offer you a pimento cheese sandwich? Well, we got a big show here tonight. Tommy the Fox anti-hero is in the Twitch chat, and he said, not a Bears fan, but loves him some Tom Waddle. And we cannot agree more. We love ourselves some Tom Waddle here, too.
This
is just an epic picture.
Right.
We'll have to talk to him about this. I'll send him a text to just give him a friendly reminder. You know, he's taken a lot of hits. So,
right.
But he's due for 7:00. So we've got 5 minutes till he hops on.
Right.
So I'll give him a little see you in 5 minutes. Text.
I wish I had some more time today to get some videos together and do more of the footwork, the little stuff that makes the show good. But I was just, I just had so much going on. I'm literally just now making it upstairs.
Well, do you have, when we got off last time, you were playing some of your Sylvie's, drops. Maybe you should get that ready. And if you have any Tom Waddle drops,
see. I wish I would have saved when he was dissing my songs and stuff. Yeah, not gonna make it, Trae. Yeah, I should have saved all of that from when he didn't like some of the parody songs from this past year. But just in good fun, because it's I hope they know that I'm not genuinely mad. I'm really just joking with the whole thing about the parody contest. And even though I think they've become a little bit of they're like two Simons up there. It's unnecessary anger towards oh, that was just horrible. We don't even want to hear it. It's not good enough. It's a parody contest. Lighten up, guys. It's oh, my wife was saying how bad the songs were this year, and it's come on, guys. Most of the people are just putting in stuff for fun, not necessarily to win, but just because they like the show so much. And you being too quiet. I'm did you freeze?
I did not freeze. I know. Isn't that shocking? Shocking that I'm just reading my text to make sure everybody's good to go here. Okay. And I'm sure Tommy's good. So I'll stop worrying about it. But yes, we're very excited to have Tom Waddle on. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk a little draft. I need to be caught up, to be quite honest with you. I was just watching some of the presser with Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus to try to get myself caught up, because I had little Addison out at Paw Patrol duty on Saturday. So, the meat of the draft. I know, we made some picks Friday night, 3 first round or two second rounders and a third rounder, which were basically our first pick. So, but without further ado, we will bring in our guy. And I found this great picture when I was doing my research. When I found this online, it was on a broadcast, Waddle. I don't know if you remember this, but John Madden had it up to smelling salts. You were up to 3, which tied an NFL record for smelling salts. That was put on the broadcast. And I just couldn't help but crack up. Our guy, Tom Waddle, is in the building. How are we doing, Tommy?
I'm well. How are you guys?
We are excellent.
Awesome.
I love the he's always got quality gear. You know, that's a champion. It's so funny. That picture was from a Champion ad that was like in GQ and all kinds of these huge magazines. It was after a game we played, I think, against the Bills, and we lost, and I played like shit. And they filmed, you know, it was an ad campaign. So they came in and took all these pictures, and they put this sweatshirt on me, this Champion sweatshirt on me, and they rubbed dirt all over me and then took a bunch of pictures. I was pissed off the whole time because the day before, but the picture actually turned out pretty good, and it looks good on you.
All right.
You can see all the dirt wiped all over you.
Dirt, but it was like that was a Monday after the Bills game, and like they go, okay, we're gonna do this photo shoot, and we're gonna smear dirt all over you. And I was, like I said, I was in a bad mood to begin with, so like the scowl on my face was pretty legitimate, and I'm not a scowling person.
GQ. Did you ever think you were destined to be on GQ?
No, not for any legitimate reason. It's cool. I actually have the picture. I'm staring at it across from where I'm sitting now in my office.
I'm sure
pretty cool.
I'm sure your better half was very excited for the GQ magazine cover.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like my wife grew up with like her father was a significantly better football player than I was. Her father is all-time leading scorer in the history of the AFL, Gino Cappelletti. So, like, there was nothing that I did that impressed her at all. I mean, she grew up with a guy that should be in the Hall of Fame. So.
Well, Notes Sanger, a big P1 guy, always in the chat. He said, "I knew you were on the '85 Bears, but this solidifies it." GQ magazine.
Yeah.
So, well, we appreciate you coming on here, Tommy. You know, like I said, I was all in Paw Patrol world on Saturday, so I need you to help me get caught up with all of this. Obviously, we can start out with the top picks, but a big draft class after only having a few picks to start, and then Ryan Poles started trading back like some of us anticipated early on, but it ended up being on Saturday with all the trade backs. But what was your initial reaction? I know there was a lot of Bears fans out there that wanted wide receiver right away. Obviously, that seemed like the most glaring hole, and also like for most fans, they want the sexy, right? And the wide receiver is always going to be the sexiest, right? He's on GQ. So, you got, and I'm the same way as a fan. I'm always hyped. Doesn't matter what round we take a wide receiver. I always get myself overhyped about said wide receiver. So I wanted one right away, but then they go a defensive secondary with their first 2 picks. What was your reaction to that?
I did not, I got to be honest with you, I did not follow the individual selections as closely as I have in the past. I think the fact that they didn't have a number 1 or a first round pick kind of dulled my senses a little bit about, what direction they were heading. I think my overall conclusion from this, and look, I get the folks that are upset, and I get the, people that are concerned. Ryan Poles basically has told you directly or indirectly since he took over this organization that he's going to take a slow and steady approach. And, there's a large part of me that appreciates that, because the last administration, although they did some decent things, I thought spent way too much time putting Band-Aids on gaping wounds and trying to sell you that this guy was a better player than he was. The one thing I appreciate about Poles more than anything is that he hasn't overvalued the group that he's inherited. And So I think that with his actions and in some ways with his words, he's kind of told you that this is going to be a long process. We're not going to do anything, that is probably seen as a huge move. We're not going to make any rash moves. I don't think this team's in any position to win anything now. So trading for A.J. Brown was not on the table. Trading for Hollywood Brown is not part of the equation right now. I think what he has done with his words and his actions have been pretty transparent, and he's telling you that this is going to be a long process, and I appreciate that, to be honest with you. So, look, if you're a Bears fan that's antsy right now, and you're saying to yourself, look, we just went through this horrible stage where we drafted a quarterback that's got some really cool elite skills, and we haven't protected him, and we haven't given him enough inside the offensive huddle. I get that, and I think that that's a valid concern. I think from their perspective, what they're thinking is we're rebuilding, and Greg, you probably, in your line of business, a strong and solid foundation is really critical to building something that actually has, some quality to it. So I think what they're saying is we're going to build this foundation and we're going to help the quarterback as much as we can. But the building of the foundation starts with a change in coaching. Hopefully Luke Getsy comes in, and instead of putting Justin in a position where you're exposing some of his weaknesses or you're not giving him enough help, they're going to accentuate what he does do well. They're going to protect him with a game plan, and they're going to rewire him and they're going to start over. And I think that, while they haven't added a ton of flashy pieces to the offensive huddle yet, and I get that people are upset, I think that this is going to take a little bit of time. I think he has telegraphed that pretty clearly.
No, you're absolutely right. When it comes to, everybody uses the foundation analogy, but, to me, it's more so like, the foundation is the Chicago Bears. They've been there. It's more like when you've built a house that's from the 60s and the block walls are starting to cave in, and we have to come in and tear it down. You don't just take out the top half of the block wall. You got to take the whole thing down right to the foundation and build it back up. I'm completely fine with it. I know there's some fans that don't want to hear the word rebuild. Why, after the last 4 years, and specifically the last couple, as you said, Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, why you would want them to try that again is beyond me. I do understand the emphasis of trying to speed up Justin Fields' maturation process, but at the end of the day, it's about the Bears, and Justin Fields' success hinders on the Bears' success. So I've been saying it for the last couple months, and since they started to trade McAway and other guys, I'm keeping my expectations as low as I possibly can. I know I get really excited at training camp like we all do, and I'll do my best to temper those expectations when they come, but I really am, and I said it a million times, if the Bears can play like they did in the second half against the Pittsburgh Steelers for 16 games or 17 games, they lose every game, I'm going to be fine with it. If they play any game like they did against the Cleveland Browns, that's when the concern will come. And I just don't expect that with this group.
Well, and Greg, that's why I said, like, part of the improvement, part of the support for Justin is hopefully going to come from a system that accentuates his positives and doesn't put him in a position, that is a compromised position. I said it at the time, and I probably used the phrase too much. Like the game plan they used against the Browns back for Justin's initial start, they basically threw a rookie quarterback down a flight of stairs and didn't help him up. And I don't think that that's going to be the case. Now, with that said, look, he was the 15th pick of the draft. Some would tell you that if he was in this year's draft, he would have been the number one overall selection. My expectation for Justin is for him to play better as well. Bad situation, not a ton around him. But my expectation is that he's got to lift his game. Also, going back to the draft from Friday and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as well, I would say, look, Ryan Poles came in here, and what did he say to you? He said, "We're going to draft. We put together this board. We've worked for weeks. We've worked for months." What would you say? I would ask you the question, both of you. What would you say if Ryan Poles set his board, took all the advice from his scouts, came in as a first-time general manager, and with the philosophy, we're going to take the best available player because we have so many holes and so many needs. And then on when the draft comes, he decides to deviate from that plan and address wide receiver because it's an area of need, but yet there's not a receiver that's ranked higher on his board than Brisker. Like, I would lose more faith in him if he took that approach than any other way. So, I mean, look, if Brisker was a higher rated player than any of the wide receivers on Ryan Poles' board, then he did the right thing. Is safety a more important position than a wide receiver, especially with a young quarterback you're trying to develop? I can make the argument no. But if Brisker's a guy that you had as the highest rated player on your draft board when you were set to pick at 48 and you didn't pick him, I think that gives you more red flags than picking a safety versus a wide receiver.
Right. Yeah, I believe that too. Like, you gotta, I mean, the way he described his draft picks after he picked them kind of sold me on it. Like, at first, like initially you're like, okay, like who's this guy? You know, he's not that flashy pick, that, you know, that sexy pick that everybody's looking for. And you're like, oh, his defense as well. And then when you look at his description of the player, he's like, oh, the way he changed his direction and all of that stuff. I was like, okay, that does make sense. Because you, like,
well, you said, Trae, I think also, like, he's a guy that's been described in this NFL. You can't just be an in the box safety.
Right.
You have to be somebody that can play a number of different positions. And if I read the scouting reports correctly, and he's a kid that played, I think, over 400 snaps at Penn State, a pretty good school. He can play safety. He's interchangeable at the safety position. He can cover inside, so he could kick him inside and let him cover tight ends and slot receivers at time. You know, you also have to factor in the influence of the head coach. And again, like, look, I'm not going to lie to you. It may not work. All of this may just be smoke and mirrors, and we come to the conclusion 4 years from now they were the wrong guys and it didn't work. But right now, who am I to say that? I think you have to. I don't think you can jump to any conclusions. You've hired a defensive head coach in Matt Eberflus. You've trusted Ryan Poles to come in here and set his board and draft. If Matt Eberflus says, "Hey, Ryan, I really like Brisker. He could do a lot of things in my defense," and Poles has got him ranked as the best player available at that spot. While I would love to see an accomplished wide receiver as well, I mean, I can't argue with the process, and I'm more than willing to be patient with it.
No, I completely agree, Tommy. I've kept saying to people, you know, like, what do you think? Well, I'm keeping an open mind, and I'm not going to make any definitive opinions when we haven't even got to camp or seen a game or even a whole year with these guys. So for me to try to say, oh, this wasn't the right move, trading Mac wasn't the right move, they didn't get into all this stuff, they have to be allowed to have the leash to be able to do this stuff with us, to sit back and say, all right, let's see what you guys are going to do with it, without people saying, oh, build them a statue, or, oh, these guys are the worst GM and head coach duo ever. To me, those people that are on each polar ends are just in a race to be right. And if you're not going to let the process play itself out, then it's just about you trying to fulfill your own opinion than letting it see itself out.
You're right. And at the end of the day, it's about finding good football players. It really is. Look, wide receiver was a position of need several years ago, and Ryan Pace drafted Kevin White. How'd that work?
Oh, Kevin White.
I mean, it's not, and I don't mean to dwell on him. My point is that even if you have a position of need, if you don't pick the right guy, really, what have you accomplished? So when you've got a team like this that has so many different needs, if this was the Kansas City Chiefs, or this was, the Buffalo Bills, or this was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Rams, and they did something silly, you'd be different. This team needs players at every single position. So I'm going to take a patient approach. By the same token, I completely understand people's concerns. I would not discount them or dismiss them. If you wanted to see them draft a wide receiver and offensive tackle with one of the 2 second-round picks, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just telling you, I'm not smart enough to know whether or not they made the right decisions or they made the wrong decisions. What I do know is they came in with a plan. They set their board. They decided to take the best player available at their different selecting spots, and that's what they did. And hopefully they've made good decisions.
Here's Ryan Poles' a quick thought into this conversation and why he felt the way he did in the first two picks, taking defense instead of offense.
You really like the offensive line depth of this draft, which honestly I took to mean that you didn't like the offensive line depth of this draft, but you were obviously being sincere. How much of a factor did that play in the fact that you guys chose to go defense at the top of the draft when so many people thought you may be eyeing offensive line earlier?
Yeah, we addressed that yesterday in terms of I'm an offensive line guy. Like, obviously, I would fire away at all of them if I could, but it really comes down to the preparation. It comes down to the board and where guys are valued. And this year, where we sat, to me, there were two good starting level defensive players. And I would have made a huge mistake for this organization to say, you know what, let's just leave them there, let someone else take them. And then we're going to go to offense where they're not on the same level. And then you're kicking yourself a year or two later when that guy's at an all-pro. But yeah, I just did what I needed at the time. Again, it comes back to discipline and doing things the right way, and I felt like that's going to be a decision that we're all happy with.
So there it is.
I can't argue with that logic. I really can't. We may find out that they picked the wrong guys, and the guys they picked can't play. But you have to let that play out. I think the process and the logic makes sense to me, and we'll see. We've spent a lot of years with this we'll see approach, but that's what we're
right, and that's what Will's say, or Will Dutan, the infamous Liam Dutan, who's always in the Twitch chats for Waddle and Sylvie, and he's on Twitter, always harassing everyone, and he's never going to trust the process. How many years are we going to have to wait for this to succeed? We've been bad for decades. And it's like, Will, I always try to remind, this is a new regimen. What the past Bears have done have nothing to do with Ryan Poles.
I can't blame Ryan Poles for Ryan Pace's sins. That doesn't make sense. And look, again, I go back to the process. I hope Ryan Poles does a great job. He comes with a lot of experience from a franchise that has had a ton of success. I was an advocate of them hiring a football president to help Ryan Poles, the first-time general manager. I think Ian Cunningham as their assistant GM, I think that was a nice hire to have more people inside the building to bounce ideas off. I think they did make a mistake inside their internal structure without bringing in a president of football ops. But we are all prisoners to the process. I hate to say it. I mean, we can all be frustrated. We can all be upset. We can all be pissed off at our favorite football team. But you brought Ryan Poles in. You got to let him do his job. It's the same thing I said about Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. If you bring them in, you got to let them do their jobs. You may not like them, but at the end of the day, they'll be judged based on the outcomes.
Right. Yeah. I totally agree with that. And when you hear them talk versus past regimes talk, it just sounds like he just. I guess I am trying to be more optimistic, but it just does sound like he knows what he's talking about versus just the word salad that we're used to. It sounds like there's a method and a reasoning, and he explains it clearly. He's just not saying, oh, this and that, and just trying to, fill up space. He's like, okay, this is why we did it. And
they didn't say collaboration 23 times.
Right.
Collaboration's not a bad word. It's just when it's used by people that don't collaborate well. Look, I get it. There's a lot of frustration involved, and there should be. And it hasn't gone as well as we all had hoped. It's just you can't look to the past and blame the sins of the previous regime or the previous players on the guys that are currently playing. You got to give this thing an opportunity. And I'm not trying to sell you from the perspective of being a former Bears player and that I have, these wild feelings about the Bears. I mean, look, they do course, burn orange and navy blue courses through my veins. But at the same time, I was out there saying a year and a half ago that there's no way you should give this coach and this general manager another opportunity to draft a quarterback, and they did it. So,
one thing that we did see when they took their third pick in the third round was Velus Jones, a guy with a lot of speed. I was hoping for David Bell, my Purdue Boiler guy, but I'm fine with Velus Jones. Yes, he is 25 years old. Eli Morales, he has a great podcast, him and his guy Bruce do the Bear Down Breakdown, and he was asking, do you think Poles and Justin Fields, because we heard that Fields was sitting in with Poles during the receiver evaluation before they drafted, whoever they wanted at receiver. Do you see that there could be a Deebo Samuel type of role? Not that they're the same player. Obviously, Deebo is a dynamic talent in the NFL, but Jim Nagy from the Senior Bowl was asked, a few months ago, who's that type of player? And his answer was Velus Jones Jr., and then the Bears ultimately draft him in the third round. You're a former wide receiver with the Chicago Bears. You return a kick return, punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't have the same body type, nor did I have the same skill set. But no, look, I think first of all, it's hard to replicate what Deebo Samuel does. By the same token, there were a lot of people that were talking about whether or not Deebo Samuel is a guy that you trade for. If you trade for Deebo Samuel and you give him $25 million, you better use him the way that Kyle Shanahan used him.
Thank you. I was going to say that too.
Yeah. And I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite players, but he's one of my favorite players in the context that he's used by one of the better offensive minds in the game. If you ask Deebo Samuel to split out, run the route tree, I don't know how impressed you're going to be. Like DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a guy that will impress you running the route tree. Justin Jefferson is going to be one of those guys. Obviously, Cooper Kupp is going to be one of those guys. Deebo's a guy that you get the ball in his hands in space, and it's hard to slow him down. It's hard to stop him because he's such a great athlete. I don't know that this guy is a perfect comp. What I think you have is a guy that is going to help you on special teams. I think the better comp that I've heard is probably a guy that will play the same role that Cordero Patterson played. And Cordero Patterson, used correctly in Atlanta, was a more efficient player than he was here in Chicago. Going to be an excellent return guy. And if you can get something out of him in the passing game as maybe your third guy, I always look at Darnell Mooney's a fantastic player, but he's a 2. I don't think he'll ever be a 1 because of his size.
I agree.
He's still searching for your 1. But if this kid can step in and give you something in the passing game, and I don't mean just a little bit, but give you something significant in the passing game and be a reliable return man for a third-round pick, I think that's a good addition. Look, I don't think again, as I said, I wasn't an advocate of them giving up what future draft capital or money to sign a big-name wide receiver. They're not ready to win right now. So I think what they're going to do as well, I think what you heard from Ryan Poles several weeks ago is he's more of a second and third tier free agent guy. I think what you're going to see him do is dip his toe into the free agency pool when some veterans get released. Maybe some older guys are available. Their price goes down. Maybe a guy like Jarvis Landry, who isn't going to cost you as much as if you jumped on that earlier, or you tried to trade for him before he was released, or somebody like that will be added to this roster, I think, before they go to training camp. So I think they're going to do this in a very slow, methodical way. And I think the kid from Tennessee serves a purpose and a role. I just don't, and they're not done. They're not done with what they're doing right now.
That's right. We're rocking with Waddle. Trae, what you got for Tommy Waddle?
Yeah, like with the previous regime, you always saw them jump on these things. Like the way they when they signed who was the quarterback?
They signed Andy Dalton last year.
Yeah, when the way they signed Andy Dalton, right? They jump on it right away. Like there's this high demand for him, and it's like why? Right? Yeah, it's like it seems like this is the type of regime that's going to listen to each other and not just make snap judgments and we got to hurry up and jump on. Like for what? There was no.
Yeah, Trae, I think you've seen them follow that. I don't.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that. And again,
right.
this is blind faith, and it would be blind faith with anyone that didn't have a track record. If this was a guy that was coming from a different team, Kevin Colbert decided that he didn't want to retire from the Steelers. He just wanted a new challenge, and he came to Chicago. It'd be different. This is a new regime, and this is a new group of people, and I appreciate the patience that they're actually exercising right now. And they're not blowing smoke up anyone's backside and telling you that, we're a few players away.
Yeah.
I think the easiest route to getting fired sooner rather than later. I think that when Ryan Poles went into his meeting, he said, look, this roster is a long way away from being finished. And you're going to have to give me some time and some leeway, or this isn't going to be the right spot for me. And he had other opportunities as well. So, with that in mind, I think he was honest with the group. I think with his, the moves he's made and the things he's said, let you know that he thinks this is a long-term project. And I think the ownership group is on the same page. So,
right. They can afford.
I say to everyone, like, we had an abbreviated show today, but you got 50% of the people that listen want to be patient, want to be optimistic. And you got 50% of the people that are pissed off because, hey, listen, we drafted a quarterback. We gave up currency for him, and you're not doing enough to protect him or give him weapons. And I agree. I understand both perspectives. It's going to be kind of an up and down roller coaster ride until you actually see their plan in place. And you get through 5 or 6 games of the 2022 season and you say, maybe I understand what they were trying to accomplish. I only have them as a 6-win team, so it's not going to look great.
Hey, I want them to have a top 10 pick. Next year, next year they finally get a first-round pick back.
Yeah.
They're not contenders. I'm one of those people like no half measures. Either make the playoffs or lose as many games as possible so we can get a franchise-changing type of player. And you mentioned Kevin White, and obviously the Mitch Trubisky pick was the ultimate, miss. But they hit on Roquan Smith, and Leonard Floyd ended up being a good player, for the Bears and now for the Rams. And so if they can get a top 10 pick to double down on what they're building here on the bottom few courses of block that they're putting together, and then next year they get all this salary cap and a first-round pick and a second round. Now all of a sudden we're cooking a little bit. I only got a couple more for you, Waddle, because I want you to get to bed. I know you got another big day.
I'm going to get to dinner with my wife and daughter is what I got to get.
What did you eat tonight? What you eating tonight?
My wife made stir fry. So
stir fry. So one of the questions I did, or something that did stand out to me was, a lot of people want offensive line to be improved. The last few years it's kind of been a mess, and you could also attribute that to a lack of a true formula for offensive strategy with Matt Nagy, along with deficiencies on the offensive line, depending on who you ask. And they go out and grab a few guys, Braxton Jones, Zach Thomas, Jatir Carter, Doug Kramer. A lot of people, I saw a guy doing a breakdown on Doug Kramer earlier today. And, obviously we're all going to hype machine these guys in the offseason. That's what we do. Did anything stand out to you about the fact that they took 4 guys, or any of these guys that are currently on the offensive line on notice, maybe like a Sam Mustipher with Doug Kramer coming in?
I think it's the message is that this is going to be an open competition, and the best 5 guys are going to play. I don't know much specifically about any of the 4 guys they drafted. I do know that at this point, what you want is bodies, and you want to give guys opportunities, and you take chances. People forget, like Charles Leno was a 7th-round pick, and while Charles won't find himself in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Charles had a nice career and just signed an enormous contract with Washington and is playing decent football. Chicago had come to an end, and it was time for him to move on, but 7th-round picks or 5th-round picks or 6th-round picks, they can find their way into a football team and inside that offensive huddle. So, these aren't 1st, 2nd, or 3rd-round guys, but they are people that will be brought in and that they will compete. And I like the fact that Ryan Poles is a former offensive lineman, so he's got an eye for this. He knows what works and what doesn't work. So I like the fact that, he moved back and he found a way to draft 11 guys instead of 6 guys. And I think even though, I know a lot of people wanted them to emphasize the offensive line earlier in the draft, at the end of the day, he's got 4 guys to work with.
Yep.
So,
right.
And, Charles was a friend of this show, and when we had him on, you could tell he was kind of saying it without saying it, with Matt Nagy being like, run the damn ball. And that was his exact words in regards to David Montgomery. And he was like, when we're falling back in pass protection 50 times in a game, that's 50 times we got to try to pick and choose which way the blitz is coming. He's like, we will, as offensive linemen, we want to engage our guy and be the attackers and the aggressors. And I just feel like hopefully with Matt Eberflus and this new offensive system, coming from Green Bay, that maybe they'll have a system that makes sense. And
Craig, that's part of the buy-in too. Is like, if I'm trying to sell you the cup half full approach here, is the improvement's not going to come because you traded for A.J. Brown or you drafted Wilson from Ohio State. The initial improvement's going to come from a different approach, where what they do is they put their young quarterback in a position to take care of him and accentuate what he does well. You can improve pass protection with a couple of things. You can do it by obviously getting better on the offensive line, but you can also do it by scheme. You can do it with play calling. You can do it with emphasis on the quarterback being more aware of what's going on around him. I think what they're selling you is look, this is going to take some time, but we've got a new staff and a new approach, and we're going to do things differently, and we're not going to throw the kid down a flight of stairs with the game plan. We're going to protect him. We're going to teach him to play the position better. And at the end of the day, there's going to be some natural growth and some natural improvement that won't take you to the Super Bowl next year, but B, will be something that will be solid and work as a foundation, so that when they do have more money to spend next year and they do have a first-round pick, that this plan becomes something that can grow over the course of time. But I think I truly believe they feel they need to reprogram this kid, and they need to do things differently and just create
a big indictment on Matt Nagy.
It is. Yeah. Listen, Matt's a wonderful guy. I think Matt is a great human being. I think the evidence was that he wasn't able to do with this offense what they brought him in to do, and he didn't help develop Mitch. Like, Greg, you and I have had thousands of conversations about Mitch, and I never thought Mitch was the worst quarterback in the world. I think he's limited. I don't think he processes things really, really well, but I think he's athletic and he does some things that can affect the defense. And I think the coaching staff they failed him, not putting him in a position to take advantage of what he did well until the final 5 or 6 games of his final season here.
Matt reminds me of Mike Martz, but without the cachet, because Mike and him are kind of the same. They came to the Bears the same way. Like, I'm going to run my offense like I did when I won a Super Bowl. And then the players here are like, look, dude, we ain't the Rams. We don't have Isaac Bruce. We don't have Marshall Faulk. You got to run for what the pieces you have here. And Matt, I felt like it was the same thing. He only knows one way to play it, and not being with a bunch of different systems, I think, hurt him because he couldn't adjust. So, Trae, what else? You got one more for Tom before we cut him loose here?
Yeah, no, you pretty much covered everything that I was looking for. The questions I had in my head, you guys pretty much answered them. But it's like when I see why he likes Shanahan so much, because with the personnel he gets, he brings out what they do best, and that's what all I really want from the new coaches and staff, to see what the personnel, recognize the personnel, know what you have, and then see what execute that, and instead of just trying to force them into a situation to do what you're used to.
Trae, there's 2 elements regardless of sport. There's identifying talent, there's developing talent. Whether it's the NBA, it's Major League Baseball, it's the NFL. You got to have somebody that can identify that talent, and then you have to have somebody that that can develop that talent. You can't have one or the other. To really get to the top of the mountain, you got to have both. And some coaches are better than others at getting the most out of players, and some general managers are better at identifying talent than others. But at the end of the day, if you don't have both, which is identifying that talent and then developing that talent, you're going to fall short of your mark.
Right. And I know there's no way we can find that out right away. I just hope that is what we have in this regime. Like,
all we can do right now is hope as fans.
Like
like I said, a big fan
in Baltimore and what they do with, like, whatever players come in, you just see them execute effortlessly, and that's what I want to see. There's ways that they can protect Justin Fields without drafting high offensive linemen right away. It's just so many other ways you can still protect your quarterback and get the best out of him by doing what he does best.
As long as we're not handing out participation trophies in this, Waddle, I don't know if you know Will. Like I said,
Will. We took a picture together.
Will Dutan. He's a diehard P1, always in the Twitch chat, always on Twitter. This is Will right here, holding up his participation trophy. He's a hardline fan.
No participation trophies.
You talk about evaluating talent. Well, he posted this video on Twitter today because one of the Bears players was pushing a vehicle up a hill. So he wanted to prove that he is able, and he's in looks like a school parking lot, pushing and pulling his Jeep. Do you see any, with your talent evaluation skills, what do you see in here?
I see a guy that's going to be run over by his own car at some point. That's what I say.
He put that on Twitter. I was
that's
like,
an optical illusion. Yeah, I think that as long as you have the car in neutral and you don't have the parking brake on, it's a little easier to move the car than maybe some think. But it's still hard, so there's some strength in that body.
Yeah, he said he met you, so you guys have met. So I wanted to play Will's tape breakdown. One more clip I have for you, and then I'm gonna cut you loose. I was on with the CHGO guys, Kevin Kiddick over there doing his thing with the new media outlet, and we did a all-time Bears draft. Okay, so I want to play it for.
You know, it's a Chicago Bears receiver that I love, and if I'm just picking like favorites here, Jeff Graham.
Oh, Jeff Graham.
Yeah. But you know who I like even more? Tom Waddle.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
We're going Tom Waddle. Put him on the board.
Tom Waddle makes the list.
Whatever. I mean, look.
Solid.
We're talking about wide receivers who have had great Chicago media careers. It's Johnny Morris and Tom Waddle. I love Tom. Greg loves Tom. We all love Tom. So.
That's right. We all love Tom.
That's awesome. That's great. I love Jeff Graham, too. Jeff Graham was a silky smooth route runner and a great player.
That's my mom's maiden name. So growing up, we were always big Jeff Graham fans in our house. But, it was funny. I felt bad because I didn't pick you, Tommy.
So good.
You and Doug Plank.
You and 30 NFL franchises.
Well, Kevin jumped the gun on me on it, but I was glad he did because then we were able to talk about you for a minute and your impact on the franchise in the city of Chicago because I know me and Trae really appreciate everything you've done career and post-career here on radio. You've always been really great to both of us, and we can't. I know I speaking for Trae here as well, but we can't thank you enough for all the time you've ever given us and the love and friendship.
I love you both like brothers, so it's my pleasure, and I appreciate you guys having me.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I've always been a Tom Waddle fan. It's so funny when I think back, watching you when I was young. I had my whole Bears uniform on. And my mom even got me like the little microphone stand. I used to sing like act like I made a new version of the Super Bowl Shuffle, and from watching you then and then, like even like I remember like back in the early 2000s, like we used to give your predictions, and I told you this in person already, but I used to be like damn it, like he never picks the Bears, but he's pretty right. Like he used to always think like man, it's like you always the Bears are gonna win, but you're like, no, I don't see the Bears winning, and this is why. And I'm like, damn it, that makes so much sense. But I used to always appreciate his like honesty and his, he always gonna like give it to you like be realistic, but optimistic, but kind of be like, okay, let's settle down. I want them to win, but I don't think so, and this is why. Yeah, and I always appreciated that
but also
about you.
realistic.
Yeah. Well, we're big fans of yours, and I want to apologize to you and Sylvie. I know I haven't been calling in as much lately, but I do listen as much as I can. I still listen pretty much every day, at least on my drive home from work. But with a 4-year-old girl at home that's demanding my attention 24/7, and I hear her running around upstairs, probably running from mom trying to put her to sleep. But it makes it a little harder with the juggling act between sports coverage and being a dad. But I am listening, and I'll do my best to try to call in a few more times and pester you guys. And I got to pester the new producers, too. I can't let them off the hook.
Amen to that.
So, all right, well, enjoy your stir fry and give the family a hug. And thank you again for all your time tonight.
You got it. Love you guys. You guys are great. Take care.
We love you.
Take care.
That is Tom Waddle, our guy. Man, that's
I forgot to ask him about the parody song stuff. That's what I was. It was so busy talking about sports.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get him on another time when around when the season's about to start. And
do I have it queued up right? Hold on. That's so funny.
We can play some of the Sylvie sound effects with Will pushing Will posted this on Twitter, and this is the version that was on Twitter. It's like you had it filmed from a potato, he's got this nice Jeep. It seems like he owns like 3 boats. He's got an
probably got an
pool,
iPhone. That's why iPhone video sucks.
Still got a phone from 2006.
Yeah, I'm not a big iPhone fan. I know everybody you got Androids are better, hands down. I'm sorry.
He's not even really pushing that. I mean, let's break this down again. He does the flex, but he I don't know what he's doing. Was he afraid he was gonna lose it because he pushes it like a couple feet and then he stops it? Okay, I guess. Stopping it with its momentum.
Pushing it downhill, that's why.
Right, so he's afraid he's going to lose it. So I guess stopping the momentum of the Jeep was impressive.
Yeah.
But then he's pulling it a couple feet, and you can see he's kind of starting to give out. Look, and he's like, he gets it past the line. I guess that's what he was trying to do. And, you can see, now he's won. Now he's showing off. He stops. He's like, all right, I've had enough. I'm an old man.
He probably let out a lot of that aggression Will has. So hopefully, just do that every day. Then he won't be as triggered when he comes on and bugs us and stuff.
Yeah, we absolutely. He's always bugging us. That's for sure.
Collecting nuts. Yeah.
Collecting nuts?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with it. And
why
the only reason we both looked at you like this
you can consume those nuts however you want. I'm not trying to tell you how to eat your nuts.
Yeah, that's like
we are collecting nuts here on the crossover of Brags in the Stands and the Trae Tunes show as we collect our biggest nut of this show, and that is Will Dutan. Also known as Liam Dutan on Twitter, the man with the participation trophies. Wanted to give him a shout out he wanted to be on during the interview, and I was like, Will, we already had him on for over a half hour. It was like, I think that was more closer to almost 45 minutes. It's like, Will has him on, we're going to have him on for an hour and a half. So, I always feel.
Wait, Tommy, before you go.
Oh man, he would have been going off.
Yeah, because I would see. This is why I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Trae, I love your show," but I have to be better. Like I like how Brags, has his graphics ready and the pictures and the audio and all that stuff. Like to make the show happen.
You're good at the freestyle. Like what we're doing right now is your sweet spot. But yeah, I will say, because everybody, I know your guys, the Trae Tunes Twitchers who, make their way over when we do our crossover shows. I will see a few people in the chat being like, "Are you gonna let Trae talk?" I would let Trae do the entire interview if he wants. I really will. I will put myself backstage, and I will let Trae do the entire interview.
Greg is prepared for this thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that would be the only thing I would encourage you is, I texted you too during it because, like, when I throw it to you, when I throw it to you, and I'm like, all right, Trae, what do you got for Waddle? And I want you to be able to feel like you could ask a question and not just have a point that's on top of the point that we're talking about. I mean, there's nothing wrong with adding to the conversation, but to do the interview process, the
stuff
and we don't prep.
Ask.
That's the other problem. Is me and Trae, we don't talk about anything. We just go live and we figure it out from there because we both, have to work. Unlike Will, who's pushing his Jeep around in a parking lot. So I'm laying bricks all day, and Trae's doing the karaoke stuff all night. So we don't really have time to be like, all right, this is what I'm going to ask, and this is what you're going to ask.
Yeah.
So I just want you to feel
like in my mind, I wanted to point out, like, I hope just hoping, like, and you guys talked about it a little bit already, like, because I know he's a Kyle Shanahan fan, and everybody's like screaming for us. I'm sorry. No, just cracks me up. So, Trae Brad, why do you?
I'm not saying. I'm just trying to give some healthy advice.
No, and I'm the one that brought it up.
And when the show's over, we just are like, all right, good night, and we don't talk after the show. We both go on. So we don't. This is the time. We're peeling back the curtain here.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
This is us just basically talking about how we're gonna
exposed.
So, for instance, like I said, that's all I want is maybe if you want to prep a few questions, so then when I throw it to you, you don't, because I can see the panic in your eyes. You're like, oh shit, I better, And if you just have a couple things, like for me. I prepare a couple things and then I just kind of flow off of that. Those are just, you can do whatever the fuck you want though. I don't care. You don't have to ask anything. That's right. Well, not broads all day, because if I was doing that, Jenny would be down here kicking my ass and kicking me out of the house. So just the bricks, not the broads. But I will say this, like I said, Trae, my sweet spot is the interviews. I've always felt like, because I do prepare. I get the pictures.
Yeah,
I'll try to have videos and questions, and I try to stay organized. And then I've always felt like why we're a good team. And and I shout out to Demuccio, who's saying, you both mesh well together, and I appreciate that because we just want to give you guys a good show. But Trae's sweet spot, and something that I'm not great at, is just bullshitting. Like, once the interview's over, just having a free-flowing conversation. And there's nothing more free-flowing than the Trae Tunes show. And I've learned a lot from Trae in those shows and the times I've been a part of them and just the times that I've been watching. So with that being said, I did promise I would bring a graphic tonight for our upcoming live event for the Collector's Cave. Trae and Braggs will be live at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 3434 South Halstead Street, the corner of Halstead and 35th, I think. It's right by Comiskey. So Trae and I will be there from 2 to 3:30 will be Jose Contreras, but from 12 to 2 will be Dustin Hermanson, both World Series winners for your Chicago White Sox. And Trae and I will be live on the scene for the Collector's Cave. We'll be there before noon, getting set up, going live. And then when the autograph stuff is going on, we'll just be talking our shit. We probably won't have any interviews or anybody that's coming on. It'll just be us bullshitting. Trae and I did a live show last year with Thomas Jones that I thought went really well. And we went live for like 3 hours, it felt like, and had people that were in the crowd come on and talk to us. And we had a lot of fun. So it'll be me, Trae, and my guy, Johnny B, who's on the show, hasn't been on recently, but is a big part of what we do here. So we'll be all there bullshitting. And I hope every one of you that are in the chat that love if you love Trae Tunes and you hate me, you still have to come. If you love both of us for some weird reason, then you have to come. So again, the Collector's Cave, Saturday, May 14th, from noon to 3:30 is the autograph session with both Dustin Hermanson and Jose Contreras at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 3434 South Halsted Street, Chicago, Illinois. So it's local. It's not a far drive. Right down the street from Trae. Only a 35-minute drive for me. So not too bad, so no excuses for all you big fans here. Get on out and have some fun with us. And, I can bullshit with the best of them. That's for sure. And that's what we're going to do that day with some Sox fans. I'm a Cub fan and Trae is too, but Johnny B's a Sox fan. And there's going to be a bunch of Sox fans there because, like I said, it's right down the street from Comiskey. I still call it Comiskey. We probably will always call it Comiskey. But the Sox play the Yankees later that day or night at Comiskey, and it's Tim Anderson bobblehead night at the stadium. So there's going to be a ton of Sox fans there. And please come see us. We had a few people come to our last live show, and we appreciated those. Beck and John came. Who was the other guy?
I could finally give you a bottle of Jack Daniels that they gave to me.
Yeah, hey, well, I'll slam it on the air.
Fermenting.
Who else came to our live show?
Oh, Big Dollar Dave.
Big Dollar Dave came to our. How could I forget?
Right.
So
chilling with Thomas Jones and stuff.
I'm not
casually just kicking it with
Notes is hitting you in the, giving you the haymakers. I'm not saying that, Notes. I'm just open because I feel self-conscious because then I feel like I'm overtaking the interview. I want Trae to feel like he can talk as much as he wants when we have Tommy Waddle on or any of the guys that we bring on. We did a great interview with D'Lo Brown.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and D'Lo's always texting me, so we should bring him on soon.
Yeah,
you don't see that's the thing, Scott,
because he's a big Bears fan too.
So here's the thing, Scott, and it looks like you're a White Sox fan from your profile picture here. But if you go to www.thecollectorscave.com, you can get tickets there. Order tickets at the bottom. If you look at the bottom of the screen, www.thecollectorcave.com. But they also have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, and a Twitter account, all the Collector's Cave. So you can search for them there, or you can visit their website at www.thecollectorcave.com. But if you just want to come and see the show and hang out at Buffalo Wings and Rings and you don't want to get an autograph, you're more than welcome to do that. Or you can buy tickets and be a part of the signing and meet some World Series champions that our guys, the Collector's Cave, are putting on Saturday, May 14th. Just 2 weeks away. So less than 2 weeks away. So next week,
get some microphone stands for the for the table, I guess. So. Because last time we had to hold the microphones, which I guess isn't like such a bad thing, but I know it's going to be 3 of us this time, right?
That's right.
I did buy another webcam so we can have 2 angles, like one, now especially with StreamYard, that you can share the screen, so we'll be able to share the other webcam, like instead of like having to do all that switching and stuff. Like say when you have a guest come up, and we can like, okay, stand right there. Here's a microphone. We can ask you the questions. Boom, boom, boom. I'll say, I've been thinking.
Note says, don't be afraid to speak up, just not when I'm talking. Please, Thank you, Greg Braggs. Yeah, Notes, I'm down. Trae, I've tried to talk Trae out of, he's got a karaoke gig that night, and he made up a decent point. And he was like, spend $100 or more, or make a couple $100 doing a karaoke gig. So, it was a hard to talk him out of doing his Trae's got a karaoke gig that night, so I don't think he's going to be able to attend the game. But Johnny B and I will be going to the game, and I'll probably be more than a few.
Johnny B and I will be going to the game.
Well, I want to try to, I want to go shame you into going, but I also don't want to be the reason you ain't making that money. So, but I do want you to go because, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. So, and you obviously help that. So, yes, I will be going. Johnny B will be going. Gonna try to get tickets down low. So we'll see.
What time does the game start again?
Well, let me look it up because I
know is crazy.
Yes, no,
that's totally something he would say, but
you are dead to me. You don't want to go to the game. I was gonna bust Tom's balls because they were like, "Oh, we had a shortened show today," and I was like, "Oh, I was gonna be like, oh, did the Sox win today?" Because they've been losing quite a bit. I mean, the Cubs are in a rebuild, so they're supposed to lose. Yes, Saturday night at 6:10 p.m., the White Sox play the Yankees at home again. It's Tim Anderson bobblehead night that night too. So I better hop on and get my tickets here soon because I'm assuming they're probably jacked up a little bit, being that it's a bobblehead night, of course, and it's the Yankees. Rizzo will be there, so maybe I'll have to wear my Rizzo jersey. But so get to see Stanton and the Bronx Bombers take on the White Sox, who are barely keeping their head above water at this point.
I wonder if it starts at 6 and if I can just stay for an hour.
Well, it may not be worth it though. You spend a ticket and then you got to leave. I mean, but totally up to you. I don't want to peer pressure you, but then again, too, the show that we're gonna do or the signing is from 12 to 3:30. I'd like to get there around 11, set up so we're ready to go. But then the game's not all the way until 6:10 p.m. So it's like, I don't know if it'll be worth it to you, but obviously we'd love to have you.
Yeah,
it's in Bridgeport.
We can just party like party like rock stars until just have a fun pregame.
Yeah,
we consume alcoholic beverages.
I'm trying to convince. I have worn my Cubs stuff to Sox Park. I'm not against doing that. I've seen Sox fans do that. At Wrigley. We'll have some night, easy going hazing towards the Sox fan. Even if the Sox aren't at the stadium, I've seen Sox fans there wearing their Sox gear. I could also just wear my Bears stuff and be neutral, which is probably what I'll do. Maybe I'll just wear this. I don't know, depending on how warm it is that night. Because I'm not trying to start shit. But at the same time, I'm not afraid to. I will if I want and support my guy Anthony Rizzo, who brought us home a World Series championship. So, that's forever. So
if you got a Rizzo jersey, this is the time to wear it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we'll pregame. That's why I'm trying to convince my wife to go out there, because then I don't have to drive home. Doing a show all day, Although maybe I can convince Johnny B to drive, because I don't think he drinks. Every time we hang out, I'm always offering him a drink, and he's like, "I don't drink, brother." He's just high on life. I'm like, what kind of psychopath are you?
Have you lived?
Johnny, my one co-host, Johnny B's like, "I don't drink," and then my other co-host.
But it's good to talk to somebody when you don't know you're not going to feel judged about stuff. And you just you don't want to feel vulnerable and all that stuff. It's really healthy to get those thoughts out your mind and thoughts off your chest. And I know, like what I'm saying right now is good advice, but this is the drunkest I've been on this show. I'm drunk, and it's y'all fault. But even when I'm drunk, I can keep it real. I'm drunk. I am drunk. I'm not tipsy. I am not tipsy. I'm drunk. Oh. Oh shit, man. Oh shit. Oh. Oh shit. I'm trying. Okay. Woo. Okay. I'm trying to read the comments. Oh shit. I ain't never been drunk this goddamn early before without it being a football game on. Y'all gonna clip it? Is that what you all goes?
And clip it.
Wow. Wow. So thank you for keeping it. I forgot all about that. Wow. Wow. Yeah, here we go. I'll drink to that, right?
Drink to that. I got the Jack. I'm not drinking though. Not tonight, but you can.
I'll take a shot.
I ain't taking no shot. I was about to, but I ain't even getting into it. Yes, drunk Santa. I was once drunk Santa, and I got it in on the Tape Never Lies network for a Christmas show, and I got hammered, and I was drunk Santa. So I had a lot of fun doing that. One guy that you would think is when you're talking to him, you're like,
I already know where
this guy's got to be drunk, and you're talking to him because you just some of the shit he says at times. And there he is, our guy Will, also known as he put his name in as the Truth. Trae, the Truth. The truth is here. The truth shall set you free.
Oh.
How we doing tonight, Will? He's listening to some kind of rap, or I don't know what he's listening to, but he's just jiving out over here.
Yeah, he's quiet, so that's nice.
That is. This is the most quiet he's ever been. It was like me earlier on the show, just reading the texts.
Is his microphone?
Are you gonna talk? Are you gonna
he
talk?
Just said
Will?
something. His mic's not working.
Your mic's not working, Will.
Can he hear us?
We can't
He's
hear
just
you.
smiling. I don't think he can hear.
We can't hear you. We can't hear. Oh my God. We cannot hear you.
Wait, this is perfect. No, just leave it like this. This is perfect.
We cannot hear you.
That's great. This is great. This is the best show Will has ever done.
Not prepared. Will's not prepared.
I want to drink.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you. Hey, but I will. Let me
get music playing.
You know what? Run it back.
Yeah, Will, you gotta cut the music off.
Well, okay. Cut the music because we don't want any copyright clips.
I already cut it.
Yeah, cut
the music because we don't want to get in trouble by the old copyright police. If you want, they did add music.
Motherfuckers. That's it. That's all I gotta say with this motherfucker.
They did add music to StreamYard,
there you go.
We can have a little.
Oh, Trae! Oh, is that the one that I gave you? You just
it's all going now.
Cheers, my brother. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Yeah, Beck and John, we're an hour in.
Not drinking
you
today.
Already missed. You missed the Tommy Waddle interview. We went up head to head with our guys Bleck and Abdallah, and we won. We won. What do you say to that?
Let's go! Look at Abdallah was celebrating too, like so hard.
Yeah, excited.
Bro, can you turn the elevator music off? This is honestly.
I'll turn it down.
Just fucking kill me right now. Just tell me, hey Will, can you come out to my home right now and let me shoot you in your face? That's it. You know, you don't have to do that to me, bro. You know.
They're saying replay the Waddle interview.
Okay,
well, we can't because we're live still.
All right. You know what? First of all, you know what I was playing, Trae, right?
Yeah.
That's enough.
First,
anyway,
quit. They got to bleep out a lot of words.
You know what? I just want to give a shout out to all my people, man. First of all, before I even start talking,
he's starting with the shout outs. Normally you finish with the shout outs.
No. I want to start with shout outs. I haven't been in live for a long time. I feel guilty a little bit. I had to take a little bit of time off, and I actually asked my wife, I'm like, is it okay if I go live? And she said, just don't go live at 2:00 in the fucking morning. And I said, okay, I got you. I understand. So I want to give a shout out to Ghost, man. Ghost is one awesome dude. The dude is true on the heart. I want to give a shout out to next to Big Dollar Day, Mucho. I want to give a shout out to Beck and John, the Casinos. I want to give a shout out to Shloov, the Mucho. The Mucho is my boy. I love him. The real Montana, even though the real Montana, he has like different personalities, but he expresses himself and created different accounts, but which is on love, So don't take things too seriously, Like I must have. If I would think I would take things seriously, I will probably not even be here right now. But shout out to everybody. Like I love you guys. I miss coming out here and tell you guys,
how you are.
No, no, high grade.
We're not gonna have shirts coming off again.
But look, okay. All right. Okay. So like I was texting to Brad, and Trae, I texted you. You have a busy life, Trae.
Yeah.
We talk in person. What's up?
I'm just trying to be like you, Will.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Don't be like me, man. Being
like
have
me
a pool.
Ain't it? I mean, me and Trae are out there working hard. You said on Twitter, you make your money the easy way to give yourself time to do this kind of stuff. Like, where are you doing this at, Will? Where is this?
So this is in a Romeoville parking lot. One of the warehouses I own. I mean, one of the warehouses one of the places have.
That you work with?
We get it. No.
Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah.
Trying not to.
Will. Now listen, Will. Like,
trying to be subtle with the details.
Did anybody pull over to help you? Like get your car to a gas station?
Not really.
Nobody. No good Samaritan was like, "Hey, do you need a lift?"
Yeah, that car
what I was more so surprised about the whole thing was that I was able to pull the car back.
That was the most impressive part.
Yeah, that was pretty.
I was even surprised with myself. I'm like, fuck, I can't.
Because it's kind of going downhill a little bit that way. Did you get nervous that you were going to lose it?
I didn't. You know what?
I felt like when you started pushing it, that it started going a little fast. Okay.
So you see,
you're like, oh, let me stop it. Let me start pulling.
Yeah. So you see on the right, there's like a little bump, and I'm like, let me at least have a little help. I'm like, and my coworker, we were arguing to my actually my boss, and he's like, no way you can pull, like you can do that, He's like, yeah, dude, I can do that.
Yeah,
and he's like, no way you can pull your
and then you started to show off a little bit with the one hand.
Yes. At the end, I was like, fuck, I got these motherfuckers. I'm like, hell yeah, bitch.
So you surprised yourself. Now, you did this because a Bears player recorded himself pushing.
Yeah, bro. Yes. Okay. I don't like that. So my reason of pointing this out is because a football player is just not about strength. So everybody thinks like it's all brutal force and everything. It's not. Most people can move a car, bro. It's easy. That's what I posted. I didn't post it to say that I'm so strong.
Right.
But the way I posted to pull the car back, that's what. Even to myself, I was like, like at the moment. So
Now,
then you have to be strong.
They
Don't
want to
try
press
that at home.
But let a car come at him going 10 miles an hour, and then if he can stop it, then we got to stop these Mack trucks from getting to our quarterback.
Exactly. So one thing is about it. Everybody was feeling good about this draft pick when the quarterbacks and the Bears, and I'm like, I'm a regular person. Anybody can do it. You know, like what I think. If you can do it, I don't.
It was a contest like
don't
that.
Hate
when
on
I went to
me.
the Cowboys game, there's a contest for people to push the Ford F-150 10 yards the fastest. You know, those are for the fans. So I totally get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? You can.
It shouldn't be so impressive. Oh, this guy can push it. Like,
well, Schloob says pushing is nothing. Pulling is another story.
Exactly.
You know,
pulling
you pulled it back. I'm like, whoa.
And he stopped the momentum of the
push.
Jeep. That was probably
play it one more time because you see it start to speed up.
Go ahead, pull it.
Yeah. Let's run the tape back. Let's run. See, watch how it
this
speeds up before he starts to put it.
Like I said, I think he got worried a little that he was about to lose it.
Looking like it's like, okay, it's going. Okay, I need to stop this. He gonna push it into the building.
There was a little bit of panic in his steps.
It's like, oh shit, this is like.
Then he's pulling it. Now he's feeling real strong.
Yes,
you know?
Right.
Yep.
Wait till he gets over that line.
Wait till I
see
show
that
my
crack?
wife this.
You see that crack in the line? Like once it's over there,
and then look at now he's feeling himself.
Right.
And then look at this with the flex at the end.
Right.
And the only question is like, what did you film this on? Like a
what kind of phone was that?
No, my boss filmed it because he's like, you can't even pull it because when I go to work I wear the the coat and the shirt, and I said, I was having lunch and we were working out together in the same gym in Naperville. And I'm like, this bullshit, dude. You think I talk to you guys like this just because I want to be like on anything? I'm like, I talk to everybody like this.
We know.
This is actually who I am all the time.
You finally stopped.
You think I'm just crazy on this show? I'm like this all the time.
Yeah, I'm like this all the time.
You finally unlocked your Twitter account, and now you're going after other people, which I'm happy about, because then we and you can coexist on Twitter while you attack millions of Bears Twitter people,
bro. Like they were like they were like, I think I had like 200. But look at me, dude. I'm a thinker. I think all the time.
Oh, you're a thinker, all right.
All the time I think about something.
Yeah,
if ketchup shouldn't be. There you go.
There he is in deep thought.
Bro, look at that. That's like 2 years ago.
Look,
my hair's getting gray.
Will I fire off now?
All right.
You're on a rampage.
I'm getting a lot of white hair, man. A lot of white hair. I'm getting old.
It's just surprising because for being such a fun-loving, easygoing guy, you're very angry on Twitter, and it isn't really like you are a debater. You're a master debater. That's right. I said master debater.
Yeah.
But you're such a friendly, fun-loving.
No, I mean, no. Yes, I know. But when
angry when you talk about.
Well,
sports.
you know what angers me this is the one thing I'm going to tell you. We have $5 billion to send to another country, but we can give housing and help or to any veterans, or give housing to here in America and create more jobs. We have $5 billion. Right now we're sending $8 billion overseas for a war we're not fighting. So
specifically,
sometimes that makes me sad.
But specifically about your sports anger. I mean, I get there are definitely world problems that we all wish we could fix, but just specifically sports, it's supposed to be fun for the most part.
I know. But I always have things in my mind, like why college and education should be free for everyone. Everyone should be able to choose what they want. So, do you want to go to college or do you want to practice another? Because not everybody is meant to go to college. So to help people. So anyway, man, like don't give me a starter on that.
I'm just trying to peel the onion that is Will. I mean, you have a lot of layers. You have a lot of layers.
And why did I take that? Why did I take that video? Because
you're crazy.
When I push the car, I'm like, no, this guy is. Everybody's like, yeah. He's got $1 million. How many people here can push a car?
Yeah. I know I can. I've done it before. Yeah, I push cars in the snow. I push my sister's car out of parking spaces from being stuck in the snow and stuff. I mean, that's more difficult to push. I mean, so is that a video that? How did that surface? Is it an old video?
To
me, he just posted it today.
He posted it himself.
Will posted. I tagged.
No, I mean the original video.
Oh, that just. I think he. Yeah, no, I think it was on his timeline.
Yeah.
And a Bears fan found it and was like, "Look what our player can do."
See,
I don't think he got drafted and then went out and started pushing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a lot more comforting to hear that.
Well, what did you think of the other? What did you think of the other video before we bring on another special guest of the guy that was so excited to be drafted by the Bears that he started doing push-ups on his back deck?
I ain't gonna lie, the elevation he was getting off when he pushed himself up. You gotta do the behind the back one. The behind the back clap he did.
Oh my god, I'm on TV. Hi. Or whatever this is.
Hell, Carcino.
Probably turn your sound up so I can hear. Hey guys.
Tell you gonna do any one-handed push-ups? What Will was just getting into.
Oh, I can't hear anything. Hold on.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Well, that didn't help.
Well, we can hear
What's
her,
up,
but
y'all?
she can't hear us.
I might have to grab earbuds.
You're gonna have to grab some earbuds.
Earbuds.
We'll put you backstage for. We'll put you backstage for a minute. Grab your earbuds.
Go ahead.
Grab her earbuds. She's gonna grab her earbuds. Tal is in the house. She wanted to hop on and probably yell at Will about something.
Yeah, they get them out sometimes.
Real Tony Montana says marine push-ups.
Yeah, I ain't gonna like more than just the push-ups. For him just to be excited to be. I mean, I know it matters like what he does on the field, but I like a player.
Trae, you're too nice.
No, let me finish.
Trae, oh my god, you
listen.
Okay, all right.
Listen,
let Trae go.
I did butterfly.
I finally tried to talk.
Let Trae go.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro because he can do push-ups. You like when your players are excited about being on your team. So how could you not root for them? That's all I'm saying.
Bro, I'm rooting for them. You think I'm like, I woke up. Do you think every morning I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, I hope the Bears lose. I hope they're. Look at my wall. I mean,
yeah, but that's all it was. He was excited. He was like, oh man, I'm ready to get out there. He wasn't saying, oh, look at this. I'm going to be the best football player ever. He was like, the whole video, he's excited. His lifelong dream was to be in the NFL. He was like, I was already a Bear with the Cal Bears. Now I'm a Bear in the NFL. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Bear down, baby. Let's go. He was excited. So I'm happy for him. He wasn't trying to show. He was just excited, full of energy.
Hold on, Trae. I understand what you're saying. I understand your point. Bro, I just show you me pulling like literally pull a 3,000 jib out. Like, it's like the NFL is so skilled now that you don't need that. You don't need too much strength. You need skill.
But is that what the video was about? No.
Yes, because the video had like 3,000. They were like, oh my God, you can push a A pickup. Oh gosh.
No, the reason I like the video because he's so excited about. That's why I like the video.
No.
It's not about the push-ups. I just like his energy that he's bringing to the team.
Brax, Trae didn't see the video of the guy pushing the truck.
I saw that video, but he didn't post that video after he got drafted. Somebody found that old video. Now that's the big difference. If he would have posted that, like, I got drafted, let me push this truck, that's completely different. But he's just all energy.
No. I love this video right here. This guy.
Yeah, he's so excited. That's what I'm happy about.
I like that. No. Yes, I like this.
Look at that.
I'm not talking about this guy. Look. Yeah, I can. But there you go. I can do that. I actually can do push-ups like that and land on my right here. Pull, bang, and bring it back up. So I mean that tells me nothing.
So, but can you play safety, Will? That's
right here. Yes. You have to be a smart playing safety and coming back up. So look.
Hello, guys.
Back.
I can hear you now.
All right.
There you go.
Good. How y'all doing?
We can hear you now. Great. How are you, Tal?
I'm good. I'm really bummed they didn't get any Iowa players. What? Oh. I have to go in the other room because he doesn't get audio.
You're bummed because they didn't get Linderbaum.
Oh, or Goodson. Goodson signed with the freaking Packers.
Now, is Carmen making you go in the other room because he's mad at me?
No, he's making me go in the other room so he can listen to the audio and I can be on the show with you guys.
All right, because you tell Carmen I miss him. All right,
we love you.
He is. He's mad at me. He won't talk to me anymore.
Is he still blocked on Twitter?
I don't think Carmen has it.
I would never block Carmen. He's the kissing. He's the kissing man. I mean, I love Carmen, but he got mad at me and he's yelling at me. And
he's a hot-headed Italian. What do you expect here?
He is, and he loves.
Even the way I am, Carm Casino has never said anything to me, even me. So I don't know what you did, Brax, but even the
we do have to plan a 1-year anniversary at Marlins.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, it was in early June. Or was it Memorial? It was Memorial Day weekend.
Well, I'll be in Iowa that weekend. My nephew turns 1, so.
Oh, okay.
I gotta go. My only nephew's turning 1. I gotta go.
As long as somewhere within the same time, or like that month, something in June, like when we all are free. And and I know we had the idea last year about all just meeting up at the beach, not Rainbow Beach, but a beach somewhere along, and just going out there having fun. And I bring the generator, and we can go live for the people that's not there, and then just barbecue and whatever.
Oh, that sounds like a hell of a good time.
Yeah,
it does. That sounds very nice.
All right.
And yes, I'm very upset about Linderbaum. The Ravens. Ooh, I wanted that guy protected field so bad. Like the Iowa State game, I literally watched him pick up an Iowa player and an Iowa State player and then just move them over the line.
I think, did you post the video of that? I think I saw a highlight of that on your page.
And then they draft, Velus Jones Jr., the wide receiver, when the dude that torched Iowa, David Bell, was available. I was a little, I'm fine with Velus. I'm going to root for him, but, I was really hoping for David Bell there. And then, I know Iowa fans can say how good he is because he put like 250 yards on him.
It sounds like, why are you bringing up old stuff?
Well, I'm just saying, if he can do that against Iowa's defense, that's a respect thing. That's a respect thing because Iowa's defense is so good. Nobody does that. That's what I'm trying to say.
We were friends.
Listen, I'm a Notre Dame football fan, so the rivalry stops at basketball. So, that's where the rivalry starts and stops for me and Tal. He got drafted. The David Bell got drafted to Cleveland. So
I would have liked to see him on the Bears though, because he did absolutely destroy us.
That's what I'm saying.
Man, that's a good draft pick for Cleveland, though.
I think he'll work out there, but I'm not gonna hate on Velus Jones the third.
Well, apparently, Poles and Eberflus gave Justin like some input on who he wanted to throw to, and he said that guy.
Well, that's all you need to know, because Bell was available when they took Velus, and they chose to take, Velus over Bell. So that's obviously
with Justin Fields on that, and he was on his list of wide receivers.
That's actually, grader at D. He's a grader at D.
He was at USC too, so it's got a high pedigree of talent. It's just the only knock on Velus is that he's already 25 years old, which is older than some of the players that are currently on the Bears. So, little odd.
We're gonna suck, man. We're gonna suck.
Why is 25 old all of a sudden?
Well, it is for a receiver. For a
Yeah.
draft pick, you don't ever see him that old. So
sometimes you see like 20 and 21 years old, and I mean, the thing is like his experience as a receiver. Like, are you going to get somebody that's coming into the NFL more seasoned, or somebody that's stuck in their ways? Can they change or learn more, or what? But so
many of those guys took advantage of that COVID year. Because the draft has been...
I think that has something to do with it. And then also transferring from USC, I heard, when he was at USC, he had to leave there because some of the guys that were ahead of him currently play in the NFL, like Amon St. Brown from Detroit. And,
the draft pool was too deep. He needed to do something to get his numbers up to get a higher draft.
And guys develop at different... career arcs. They develop differently. So, if Velus Jones ends up being a good player and 5 years from now he has this, great 5-year run with the Bears and all of a sudden he's 30 years old, that's like the least of our problems in this particular moment right now.
I would just like to remind you all that George Kittle went 3rd round, and look at what he's done.
Right.
Yeah, it's so
it doesn't matter where you're drafted or anything else. It matters how you're going to show up and work and perform.
Right. It's more undrafted players in the Hall of Fame than it is first, second, and third, and fourth overall picks. So
exactly.
I mean, that shows you right there. It's not like how you start; it's about how you finish. So, you might start out getting drafted
and you
low.
may be a star in college, but transitioning from college football to NFL football is not an easy task. It is not something that every player can do and then go on to perform well.
That is true. I gotta show Will this bottle I found. She's gonna be like, "What? Where did you find that?" I got back, Will.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
All right. Well, I just wanted to call and say hi real quick. I'm not trying to be on here for the whole show or anything like that.
Oh, well, it's always good to see you, Tal.
Oh, I got a hell of a day tomorrow. It's normally my day off, and we have the CEO and like 2 board members coming into the restaurant. So my GM asked me as a personal favor to be there.
Oh.
And do what I do.
All right.
So,
it's always good having you on, and I want you to try to smooth the waters with me and Carmen so we can become friends again. I miss
you guys are cool. I don't know why.
Brax thinks everybody's mad at him.
I think if I was,
I know it's building up. Yeah, Will hates.
If I was Sal, don't do that, Sal, because he will want
there
to.
There he is.
Oh,
my guy, Carmen.
Yeah, the light, the shine from the light, making it look like had frosted tips.
I gave you the wrong one.
There he is. He looks very confused.
All right, like, is this thing on? He's gonna say first or
Braggs.
My guy.
Why do you think I'm mad at you?
I DM'd you. You didn't respond to me.
Yeah, I did.
I haven't talked.
I got
to
kicked
you.
off Twitter.
I haven't talked.
You got kicked off Twitter, man.
Well, yeah, I went after a bunch of Nazis.
What happened? How did you get kicked off Twitter? What happened?
I went after a bunch of Nazis and I said some shit you shouldn't say on Twitter, so I have to sneak back on Twitter, but I need a new IP address.
Then you need a whole new IP address.
Yeah, once you get kicked off a few times, they don't even, they'll completely cut you off.
Oh, what's that browser that you can use to go to the dark web and they can't track the Tor browser, Tor?
Yeah, BNP.
Tor browser and then VPN.
But why do you think I'm mad at you?
Not VPN, BNP.
I thought you were mad at me.
You were busting balls.
Virtual
I was
private
busting
network.
balls. Your tampon went in crazy.
Well, I'm an emotional guy, Carmen.
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, that will help me sleep. I haven't slept in months from this. That'll help me sleep tonight.
Friendship trophy for you guys.
Fuck.
There you go.
I'm not mad at you.
All right, good. I'm glad because I get enough heat from Will and little Kev. I can't have it added to my plates. I'll get stressed out.
No. I haven't been on Twitter. You can't tell Nazis to fuck their moms. It's just a thing.
I endorse fighting Nazis, so I commend you for that. But I'm glad we could mend. The Purdue rivalry. We can put down our Big Ten basketball.
Oh yeah, you can totally go fuck yourself over.
No.
You can go fuck yourself.
we can put it down for the off season.
Oh, okay, yeah. For the off season.
We gotta fight against these bigger teams that are paying all these players to come to their schools.
Oh my God! And Iowa's NIL is in the works. Really? You wonder why you're stuck so bad in the transfer portal?
I know. And Miami's dishing out 450 G's a year.
Well, they got
players.
Uncle Luke.
It's crazy.
They got Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they got Uncle Luke.
So it's like the last time I checked, it was like 143 days. And that was probably like a week and a half ago. 143 days is when football season starts. So then that's when we can't be friends.
No, it's like 18 Saturdays.
Is
Saturdays.
that fair?
Well, John Rothstein always keeps us up to date on how many days until next year's basketball season. So I am looking forward to it. We'll get back to our rivalry, but until then, we're friends again, and I'm happy.
We were never not friends, you fuck.
All right.
Yeah, you fuck.
Hey, like I said, I'm an emotional guy, So I gotta make sure.
Hey, Bragg, lay off Karen, bro.
Get the man some therapy.
Yep.
I'll get him a kiss soon, and then we'll be all right. And what she said was right. We need to do like a year anniversary thing at Marlins.
Marlins. We got to figure out what weekend in June the most of us can get together and go. And is it going to be a Saturday or a Sunday?
A Saturday.
No, Saturday.
I need a day to recover.
She's old.
Oh my God! No, don't say that.
Even Will knows not to say that.
I don't even say that, Carl. How dare you say that?
Capitalistic SAR said Italian guys, I swear, are all nuts.
All right. I am not mad at you. I love you.
That's great. I love you.
Thank you for being you.
Miss you. I need one of those.
That sounded so genuine, Braxton. I miss you.
Hey, Carmen, be careful,
I just got kicked off Twitter and I couldn't respond to you.
Oh shit!
I was just busting balls. We were having a good time. I apologize that my words probably were more harsh than they should have been.
You were being
That's
mean
me.
to me. Yeah, you were being mean to me.
But that's how he talks. If you know,
hey, Bragg,
Trey, you got any water you can wash this shit out with? It's got a bunch of sand in it.
Well,
I'm
a sensitive guy. I'm being me.
You know how Carmen talks,
bro. You know Carmen didn't mean no harm, bro. Come on, dude.
Well, hey,
come on.
Let's celebrate.
And I'm sorry, like
Celebrate.
Hey, Trey, you know what, Trey? You are a disgrace for the black culture out there.
I got moves.
Put that again.
Just not like Jagger. When you play a song, you play.
And I'm sorry, like
You did 2 moves and then you ran out of air.
Yeah, because like when you're dancing and somebody else's wife turns around on you, what are you supposed? What am I supposed to do? Get up on it? Like oh hey,
you don't get up on someone else's wife.
Hey husband, like let me get all up in there.
I'm gonna cancel you, Trae. You are a disgrace for the black culture.
I can dance.
All right, I want to get
All right.
I can dance.
Braggs.
Yes, sir.
Soon, we're gonna fucking break bread and have some beers.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll do
right.
our 1-year anniversary meetup, and maybe you guys can make it to the Buffalo Wings and Rings live show here on May 14th. We'd love to see you guys there.
Tweet it to Tal.
All right, I'll send the link.
Because I obviously can't Twitter.
May 14th, right by Comiskey Park at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Saturday, May 14th. Less than 2 weeks away. So
all right, I know where that's at.
All right.
All right.
So, well, I'll buy you Jack and Coke, baby.
He drinks beer if we're out in public. If we're at home, he's drinking wine. So
wine or beer? I'm a whiskey man. Will's, he's like, I'm done. I haven't been able to
he's
talk.
a Scotch guy if it's like a special occasion. So
okay. Well,
I'm a beer and Washington apple shots. I don't know.
I'm a what's on sale guy.
Although me and all the girls from my work and like my friends, we're all going May 21st. We're gonna do a girls' day at Wrigley. Bunch of old bitches drinking at a ball game.
Shit. That sounds great.
It's probably going to be a shit show.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming on.
Scotch blend right here.
Oh, God, Trae, you're like bringing up everything, whatever you have in there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go have a beer because I have a day from hell tomorrow with the CEO and like corporate members, and I was specifically asked to be there as a favor.
Well, good luck with that. And,
yeah, this job is my hobby. I'm not even trying to work that hard.
Right. Well, good luck with that. We'll be rooting for you, and we appreciate you guys coming on and brightening up the show a little bit.
All right.
Absolutely. You guys have a great night. Love you all.
Love you too, guys.
That is the Carcinos, the best of the best.
All right.
What we're doing.
Awesome blossom.
Stop, Brax. The best of the best. You get that from Cap. Stop, please. Stop. The best of the best.
Is that something Cap says, Trae?
I don't know.
Stop. You cannot say the best of the best for everybody, bro. Bro, it's just not true. Okay, you know, hey, okay, you know, no, you can say not like you cannot say to me like when I close off, you cannot tell me you're the best of the best. No, like when I get off right of the camera, you cannot say, hey, Will, you know the best of the best. Come on, bro, shut the fuck up. Come on, dude, come on, dude.
Shots fired. Tal is not the
no,
best
hell
of the best.
no, not too tall, but I'm just saying you be honest. You're being capped.
Will's tweeting right now.
No.
Tal Carcino is not the best of the best.
No, right. She's the best of the. She's not the best of the best to you, and that's for real.
So is she the best of the best to you?
No, you're not the best of the best to me, Trae. Bragg,
of what?
The best to me. Nobody's the best to the best to me. I never said.
Not even your kids.
Well, maybe when they start paying their bills, yeah, then the best of the best. Like when they pay their own bills, I don't have to. Dude, I pay ice skating, swimming, ballet.
They're your kids. They didn't ask to be here.
Hey. But I'm paying for it, right? So exactly.
Yeah, so you can't complain about them because you're the reason they're here.
Oh, you know what? Shout out to my boy, Chicago Real, man. It's my boy.
Is he the best of the best of your boys, though?
No, dude.
Is he the best of the best?
The dude is the real. He's one of the best of the best. Real.
Oh,
the dude worked out, man, in Iraq. Right? Rila is the real deal, the best of the best. That's the best of the best. That's the best of the best. He tried to give his life for the flag. So that's the best of the best right there. Chicago read a lot of
this is the best of the best right here.
Okay, but like Waddle thought that the car was gonna run me over when I pull it back. So then you stopped the video. That's what I was upset about.
No, I played it.
No, I pulled it back though. That's where I was actually impressed that I could do that. And the slope that is opposite of a ramp.
Well, hey, we're all very impressed.
Yeah,
Look,
Will
you surprise us every
the best
day?
of the best though? That's going to be my forever question now.
The next time I'm gonna do with a semi truck.
Isn't that a song like from the 80s? In the best.
Nothing's ever gonna bring you down.
But you know what though? One thing I will not.
About Waddle. Is Waddle the best of the best?
Yeah, that catch.
That's no, you can do. Oh yeah, why not? Waddle is not the best of the best. No, Waddle is it wasn't a good football player, but he's the best of the best in radio, but not in football.
Waddle wasn't a good football player.
No, he was a good. I mean, if you make it to the NFL, of course you were a good player, right? But I mean,
technically he is the best of the best if he made it to the NFL, right?
Yes, but okay, so you see that you put in words in my mind. So then you want to put because I met Waddle, Trae, and tell Braggs on his face. Didn't I tell when you and I we met Waddle in person? We were together. Yeah. Didn't I tell Waddle? I told you this on. I said I messaged you and I said to you that you were butthurt about John Fox being fired.
Who? Oh yeah. You said that to Waddle.
Right in front of his face. Right, I told him. I said you are you were butthurt, and I said like, you know what, you were right. Like it wasn't just that. And Waddle told me, he's like, he looked rad, and I told so, but we were cool, right? Like nothing conversation.
Yeah, we took a picture. I was see if I was as good as if I was the best of best like Braggs is with getting pictures and stuff together, I would have had the picture that we all took ready up. It's a picture of me, Braggs, and old Tommy touchdowns.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it was cool.
We might have it in here somewhere. Let me see.
It is on Twitter, but is it? I don't know if I posted it.
So I just want people to know that
Nice. I meant I should have pulled that up during the show.
Oh, yeah.
During the interview. What was I thinking?
You're selfish, Braggs. You already know.
I thought you were the best, Braggs. I'm the best.
I'm not the best of the best.
Braggs, bro. You could have done that before. You were just thinking about yourself.
No, right when he said that, it made me think that we have this other folder of
that was an epic day. That whole day was crazy.
Yes, it was.
Oh man,
what? Who?
She was good, man.
Okay, God. Hey, go back, goddamn.
That's A-Rob. See, we get rid of A-Rob, and that means we lose his his girl, and she's actually more famous than A-Rob. Like she has like. She has like millions of followers on.
She's A-Rob's.
That's A-Rob's girl. She's like an Instagram celebrity. She's big time.
Honestly, this is what people don't get. I love the Bears. It affects me. When
it's not the best of the best.
So I cannot defend them.
Well, I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna send it to Waddle. Will saying Tom Waddle is not the best. He's not a good football player.
Well, you know what? When you cut the clip when the car was back, when I was backing out, he's like, "Oh shit, did he get run over?" And then you didn't show him the rest of the clip.
I showed the whole clip.
No, you cut it off when I stop it like this.
Well, we had already had him on for 45 minutes, so I'm trying to get through.
You didn't show the best of the best part of the clip.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You are.
Well, Trae, you gotta make a shirt now that says the best of the best.
You are a snake, Brax. You are a freaking snake.
Wow.
God dang. The best
right.
Well,
Okay.
hey, this has been the best of the best. I don't know how you guys feel, but I gotta get to dinner. Jenny's upstairs making dinner. So, Will, do you want to have any final thoughts before we send you on your way? We'll do another live show because we got the live show coming up in less than 2 weeks. Maybe Trae and I will come back on Monday and just bullshit around. Maybe have somebody come on as an interviewer. Maybe we'll just come on and chit chat with Johnny B and talk about the live show.
Yeah.
But
I think it works out better. Like once in a while, do a little show. It's cool.
Yeah, well, Trae's extremely busy lately. He's doing karaoke gigs almost every night.
I'm actually trying to isolate Mondays.
Porn every day, so
yeah, that too. Gotta get the porn on.
Yeah, maybe we'll come back on next Monday. But no, we'll see what's going on. Just keep on the lookout for those, and
also too, to anybody, like a lot of reviews and everything. I just want to bring fun. I don't want to be serious.
Oh,
there's a lot of talk shows that are like, okay, so what do you think about this guy? Oh, he won 4.1. Oh my God. Oh, okay, what do you think about? He has the ability. He has the athletic. We hear about all these guys every day, every time. I don't want to.
You have to come up with the best of the best questions.
Best of the best. Yeah, the real Tony Montana.
Right now we had a good show. We were just talking about
the real
everything.
Tony Montana wants to know what's for dinner at Casa Braggs. Well, as I was saying on Twitter the other day, I'm back on the diet workout kick as I do every spring, and then in the winter I gain it all back. So I'm back going the other way, losing weight, and so I do this diet workout thing where I eat literally steak every single night. That's all I eat. And it's like Will was saying on Twitter, it's like the carnivore diet. And that's what I'm doing right now. So the other day when I opened up my
steak
grill,
diet, and I didn't know about it.
Yes, it's a carnivore diet, and then you work out too, and you combine the two, and you just drop the pounds. But the other day when I opened up my grill, I didn't put the cover on.
You told me about that.
And this freaking bird had gotten in my grill. The top of the grill was down, but I didn't put the cover over it. So it went up underneath where the grease catcher is and literally filled this grill to the brim. Like when I opened it up, it looked like the jungle in there. And I was freaked out. And so it's like 9:00 at night, and I'm like, I had just done an interview with the Irish Bears show guys about the draft. So I had to cook my steaks late at night. I'm all pissed off. I got to get this shit done. I go down there. I open the grill up, and it's Jumanji in my grill. And I'm so scared to put my hand in there because I don't know if it's a bird or a squirrel or what the fuck is in there. So I told Jenny, I'm like, Jenny, come down here and put your hand in here. And I held the light up. I held the light up while Jenny pulled the twigs out because I was too scared.
You're so soft, Braggs. Hold down before you go.
I've had two.
Oh no, hold down before you go. I put my mouth with my, where I said that I can push a car like that too, or to be drafted to the NFL, which is nothing. I pulled a car too, 3,000-pound car. Okay. Here, look at that.
Yeah. Oh. Very nice.
Pull the car with one hand, Will.
Okay.
One hand.
Look. Let me show you when I press.
I don't care how strong you are. When a bird attacks you,
look. Tell me how much to press. Right here. Hold on. Right here. Tell me how much I'm pressing really hard right here.
Okay.
Tell me how much. You just go from 1 to 10. Go ahead. Keep pressing.
What's gonna happen?
Trae. Want me to keep pressing, Trae?
Press the best of the best. Press.
There you go. That's what the tune on, motherfucker.
So anyway, I pulled all the sticks out. We cleaned the grill out.
I got your ashtray. I got your ashtray.
He's always
now
why is he always flexing?
Trey, we're even now. We're even.
The world may never know, but
you don't even know what me and Trey are doing, but we're even, Trey, now.
You guys are crazy. That's all I know. Especially
I'm not always flex. Like, you see the people take it like I'm always flexing. Come on, dude. Nah. Just relax.
He's like,
and
hey
Carmen's
guys,
right. And Carmen's right. When you change your diet to eating freaking fast food and Taco Bell all the time to steak every night, then yes, your digestive system changes, and then going to the bathroom, you're eating all that protein all day long. It definitely changes
chicken breast a lot.
Some things when you're sitting on the pot. We won't go into detail. I'm just telling you. Those are the sacrifices that have to be made.
Man, you're looking good, bro.
You want to get in Will shape. You want to fucking flex out and push Jeeps. You got to get in that weight room, and you got to eat that protein. And I like steak more than chicken, so I eat steak. I could eat.
I mean, is it like better? Is it like specifically eating steak, like, or is it just meat?
Yeah, just meat.
No, it's sirloin.
You don't even have to eat vegetables.
You eat very water steak. Cut? It's all and it's all weighed, so you eat the same weight every night, and then as the diet goes on, you drop your numbers, so then you eat less and less, and then the weight just melts off you. But you start at a higher number, and then you work your way down, and then before you know it, your steak's like a little itty bitty piece. And then that's when you get nice and in shape. So it works. I've done it like 4 times, and every time I lose like 50, 60 pounds, and then I gain it all back because
if you show that picture with A-Rob's girl,
let me see if he's working. The last time you had the big boobs. And
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see now. Let me see now. You say it's working.
I'm tight right now.
Proof.
I told you.
No. It's proof.
I told you. I gained the freshman 50.
You got to prove, man. You cannot bullshit.
I'm tight right now. What do you want from me? What do you want?
Go ahead. Bat and show that you're.
I ain't taking nothing off, but this is the end result. Is when you get once you get in shape, then you start looking flexed out. So I'll get there. Give me a few months, and then I'll be I'll be in Will mode. But right now, my shit's a little tight. All right.
You know what though? Honestly, like I'm just like I just want people to understand when I come in the show, and dude, we just having a good time. Don't take it to the bank and be like, oh my God, this Will is this or that. Just have a laugh. Laugh at me.
We're having a laugh. We're having a laugh. All right, Will.
Okay, hold on. None of us are affecting the Bears draft. None of us done. Anybody, not David Kaplan, not Sylvie, not Trae, not Bragg. Nobody has anything to do with the draft. So what the fuck is that?
It's Sylvie. He's
Sylvie.
No.
Hey girl.
All right, we're getting Chicago Rilla in trouble. His wife's trying to watch American Idol. My wife's trying to get me to go eat dinner so we can watch our shows. So that's what I'm going to do. Will, we're going to send you off, and we'll bring you on next week, and you can talk about whatever you want. Thanks for coming on. Any final words that are short and sweet?
One thing I'm going to tell you, as a Bears fan, that I put a lot of money to buy jerseys and everything. Mm-hmm. Just do not put all your faith on the Bears. They're gonna freaking kill you every day, all day, until the McCaskies sell the team. Such a nice final thought. And Waddle
You aren't the best of the best.
That will never happen in your lifetime.
The Bears
are the problem.
Best of the best. Now kick rocks, everyone. All right, Will. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for coming on tonight.
You know, I love everybody here in Twitch and everything. I'm not interacting. Love you all. Have a good night. You know what though? Worry about yourself. The sports are not like they used to be before. The sports. Brax, is anybody paying you to do this?
No.
Trae. We are Bears fans here. We love our Bears, and they do us wrong. It's time for them to do us right.
That's what she said.
All right. Later, Will. Have a good night. That's our guy, Will. Tal's off to watch the Food Network. I'm off to watch some shit. I know Trey's probably going to go get some rest.
Yes.
So.
Oh, hopefully. I might, because the karaoke gig I used to do on Mondays, I told him I'm not going to be there anymore, but I said I might still check the set out to support, but it used to be I had to be there like 7:00, and I was like, I'm not finna do that anymore. All for you guys, so I can at least do one show a week. I said
We'll try to do what we can. This is my busy time of year too, laying the bricks, and Trey's trying to do as much as he can with the karaoke stuff. So that's just how it works. We'll get it in when we can fit it in. But again, make sure you guys all try to clear your schedules for Saturday, May 14th at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Chicago, Illinois on 3434 South Halsted Street. You can get your tickets if you want to get a Jose Contreras autograph or a Dustin Hermanson autograph, who was recently added to the signing for the Collector's Cave, and it's from noon till 3:30. And Trey and I will be there before noon and be hanging out. I'll be hanging out all day long there, and Trey will be as well. So hopefully everybody can make it, have some fun with us, have a couple drinks, and we look forward to seeing everybody. So that's coming up, and maybe we'll try to fit in another one of these streams before then, but we shall see. So I think that wraps things up for tonight. Trae, thank you once again. Had a lot of fun bullshitting with you. We're getting back on the saddle. Back to back weeks, brother.
This was best of the best right here.
The best of the best. And don't let Will tell you any different.
Right.
Want to give a big thank you to the best of the best, and that's our guy, Tommy Waddle.
Yeah, awesome guy.
One of the toughest players to ever put on a Chicago Bears uniform. The best of the best. And I want to thank everybody in our
Tunes
chat.
with it.
Yes.
He's so good. Yeah.
Want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are the best of the best. Tal is the best of the best. Bear Truth 9, you're the best of the best. Demuccio, best of the best. Big Dollar Dave, best of the best. Chicago Rilla, the real Tony Montana. For everybody, want to thank for everybody that tuned in from the start or that hung out all the way to the finish. You guys are the best of the best.
Deserves better.
Trey, any final thoughts before we cut?
Okay, yeah, I'm just happy to be here, man. Happy to be back doing the shows. It's a lot of fun. Shout out to Braggs for all the stuff that he has to do before we actually do the show to make the show great. Getting the clips together, all that stuff. We got to show that we appreciate Braggs. He's not only in the stands, but doing all the little stuff to make the show good with the clips and the pictures and all that stuff really makes a big difference. And we appreciate you for that. And I'm just happy to be back doing this. It's been so long since we've been doing it consistently, and hopefully, we can just get back to doing shows on a more consistent basis and just having a good time and talking to guests and bringing you guys on. Maybe Demuccio will come on, and maybe Nature Boy. Like Nature Boy is a DJ too, right? we could get on and do some DJ stuff. Just have fun, Just
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, and I appreciate the kind words, Big Dollar Dave. The best of the best to you as well. Thank you. Just having fun. Maybe next Monday we'll bring D'Lo Brown back and bullshit. I know he's just such a huge Bears fan. I know he'll have a lot of thoughts about the draft and what's to come for the Bears. So maybe we'll have D'Lo on. We can talk about the Bears. We can talk about wrestling. We can talk about life or whatever. Big Dollar Dave. Hey, it's not the size of the fight in the dog, or it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. So I don't care how many people are in our chat because it's about quality, not quantity.
Yeah. Gotta have quality viewership as Braggs freezes up momentarily.
Oh.
Speaking of quality.
Yeah, my internet. Speaking of quality, indeed. That, I think, is a sign to wrap things up. For Trae Tunes, I am Gregory Braggs Jr. Thanks again to Waddle, Tommy Waddle of ESPN 1000 and formerly of the Chicago Bears. This is the Braggs in the Stands Trae Tunes Show crossover. We'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen.
Detroit sucks. Detroit sucks.